So, even though we've been waiting patiently, it seems like the next iPad mini might not be the huge upgrade we were hoping for. According to leaks, the iPad mini 7 will likely come with a beefier chipset, but not much else in terms of significant changes. There's been some chatter about more exciting upgrades like an OLED screen or a bigger size, but it sounds like we might have to wait for the iPad mini 8 for those, if they happen at all. A recent leak suggests that we might finally get our hands on the iPad mini 7 around September or October 2024. This lines up with a regulatory filing that hints at its imminent arrival. However, according to Mark Gurman, a reputable source from Bloomberg, it seems like we might have to wait a bit longer for the iPad mini 7. While the iPad Pro 2024 and iPad Air 6 are expected to make their debut in June this year, it looks like the iPad mini 7 will hit the shelves sometime after that. With all these rumors swirling around, it seems like the iPad mini 7 might finally make its grand entrance sometime between now and July 2024. Previously, Ming-Chi Kuo, a trusted Apple analyst, hinted that we might see it either late in 2023 or in the first half of 2024. Later, Kuo suggested early 2024 as the most likely time frame, possibly alongside a foldable iPad. Now, there's also talk about a larger screen iPad mini possibly coming in 2026, but let's not hold our breath for the iPad mini 7 to take that long. It's more likely that this would be the iPad mini 8. As for the price, sources suggest the iPad mini 7 might be a tad pricier than its predecessor, which starts at $499. However, we don't expect Apple to hike up the price too much. Early leaks about the iPad mini 7 from 2024 spilled some juicy details, including an 8.3-inch screen with a silky smooth 120Hz refresh rate, powered by an A15 Bionic chipset, albeit with a slightly faster clock speed of 3.23 GHz. It's also rumored to pack 4 GB of RAM and a base storage of 128 GB, doubling the current model's capacity. But hold your horses. While these specs sound tantalizing, the credibility of the source isn't solid, and it's an older leak, so take it with a grain of salt. More recent whispers suggest the iPad mini 7 might sport a new chipset but stick with a similar design to its predecessor, hinting that it might not be a groundbreaking upgrade. Mark Gurman also teased about a new chipset in his Bloomberg newsletter, echoing Ming-Chi Kuo's previous claim that the iPad mini might just get a spec bump. And hey, good news for those annoyed by the jelly scrolling effect on the current iPad mini. One source suggests it won't be as bothersome on the next model. But wait, there's more. Rumor has it Apple's cooking up a larger 8.7-inch iPad mini with an OLED screen. But that's a tale for 2026, likely reserved for the iPad mini 8. The iPad mini 7 seems to be shaping up as a modest upgrade, focusing on a new chipset for faster performance and some smaller tweaks here and there. However, don't hold your breath for major enhancements like an OLED screen or